The real problem with computing. The problem with today's computers is not the speed of the computer, if not the amount of energy that the computer needs to keep up with that speed. According to Chen's study, Moore's law of computers is still relevant and active because computer chips and their power is still being doubled every 18 months. But power consumption of these nodes is also doubling every 18 months as well. He based his findings on his own research of Green Destiny, their supercomputer. What is Green Destiny? Green Destiny is a supercomputer Dr. Chen used in his study about power consumption. Green Destiny is a 240 processor supercomputer. It fits in a telephone booth. It sips less than 5.2 kilowatts at full power, and it does not require special cooling cost, ventilation, or filtration. Green Destiny provides affordable, general-purpose computing to our application scientists, and it's sitting in a room that is 85 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit in a dusty warehouse. It is 7,400 feet above sea level. More importantly, it's providing reliable computing cycles without any special facilities. In other words, no air conditioning, no humidification control, no air filtration, and no ventilation. And it is running without any downtime. This is in contrast to a more traditional high-end 240 processor computer, such as Beowulf cluster, generally requires a specially cooled machine room to operate reliably. As such, a supercomputer easily consumes as much as 36 kilowatts of power and cooling, roughly 7 times more than Green Destiny. A great fact helping out Green Destiny's supercomputer is the fact that they selected a transmitter processor as a computing engine. This transmitter processor eliminates about 75% of the transistors used in a traditional RISC architecture and implements the lost but inefficient hardware functionality in its code morphing software. With this approach, this results in a processor that runs cooler than other processors. Power consumption? So, what does power consumption have to do with computers? That which is energized gives off heat. If the heat is not cooled, it can be dangerous. Although the CPUs can be cooled down through the use of air conditioning, humidification, air ventilation, and the air filtration in the CPU system, because the computer chips have so many transistors crammed together, they tend to heat up very quickly. If we do not strive to space these out a little more, or to control how much heat is generated in this area, or in itself to give it more ventilation in its design, we could continue to see increasing temperatures in our desktops and laptop computers. Chen did notice in his study that if nothing is done to try and control the heat, we could have the heat of a sun in our laps. But it's not just desktop computers. Thanks to improvements in energy efficiency, mobile devices are now a reality. This means that mobile devices are now included in the scenario. The downside, you have to charge mobile devices more often. How often do you charge your laptop, cell phone, smartphone, tablet? As computation muscle has increased over time, the amount of energy needed per computation has gone down. Improvements in energy efficiency are driven by the same techniques engineers use to make microprocessors more powerful, including cramming more transistors onto a chip. Jonathan Koomey. Mobile devices. Today's reality. Years ago, mobile devices existed. The first cell phone was made in 1973 by Motorola and weighed 2 pounds. The Dynatac weighed 2 pounds and had a battery life of about 30 minutes, which took 10 hours to charge. Since then, cell phones have evolved and become smaller, faster, more efficient, and become smartphones. Smartphones now allow users to talk, text, take pictures, video, play, download, stream, pictures, music, and movies, and access the web, in some cases, all at the same time. Not only have telephones become mobile, computers have left the desks as well. The first laptop, released in 1981, the Osborne, weighed 26 pounds, with the option of using a battery pack. Unfortunately, it had to always be plugged in. Gradually, laptop computers began to decrease in weight, increase in power and capabilities, and have longer battery life. These mobile computers have evolved and sprouted tablet computers, lighter and touchscreen active devices. All these devices have expanded their battery life as well. Efficiency over power. For the first time since the building of the ENIAC, users are focusing more on how long the device can have power than what the device can do. The idea is that at a fixed computing load, the amount of battery you need will fall by a factor of 2 every year and a half. Jonathan Koomey. Initially, mobile devices were not designed to have long battery life, like the Dynatac. Now, through energy efficiency, batteries can last longer and do more on mobile devices. Because they were not designed to last long on battery life, mobile devices weren't really used that much in the beginning, but they were really demanded. Now that mobile devices last longer, more things are expected from them to be done, and as well, more information is expected to be accessed. Sure, you have to charge your mobile device often, but that's just your own device using power, right? You get home at night, or in the afternoon, you connect your phone and you let it charge, and that's that. There is no more power consumption, right? Wrong. The power consumption truly lies within servers. Servers is where all the information that we access are stored, and all the systems that we use are being backed up by them. This is why Chen's computer was based on Green Destiny's, the supercomputer's, power usage, because he based his findings on the power that Green Destiny used while being accessed at the same time. The true activity behind the usage of mobile devices are the information accessed on them, and all the information that we send out. For example, making calls, texting all of our friends, logging into Facebook to check our status updates, streaming movies that we're seeing online, downloading movies from any store, playing video games online and chatting with all our friends, all the emails that we send and receive, and surfing the web for different content. Accessing all this massive amount of information has to come from somewhere. But where? Servers. Powering servers is a problem that is reaching critical levels. They have outstanding power consumption. They have to be cooled, ventilated, and filtrated so that they can maintain cool. Servers are the power drainers. Servers heat up greatly. To keep temperatures down, they have to have an intense usage of AC. They also need a very good filtration of air. And also, in the same rooms, there has to be a high ventilation for these servers. The usage of the services to cool down the servers are actually what drain all the power behind the servers. Just to keep them cool is what's actually draining so much power. Comparing Green Destiny to a Beowulf cluster, another supercomputer, they use 5.2 kilowatts and 36 kilowatts when powered at full, respectively. Servers and energy usage. Koomey discovered energy used by servers and their housings dropped by 56% from 2005 to 2010. This could have been a bigger number, but something changed that. Virtualization on servers. Virtualization of servers is nothing more than the ability to fill up the excess space that was left on the server. In other words, the unused space that was on the server can now be used to serve other programs and other systems. This way, the servers fill their capacity, solving what Koomey was saying, that servers go terribly underutilized. This change has allowed a short-term resolve to the power consumption of servers, and in turn, consumption of mobile devices. Whereas now, you need fewer servers to do more things than instead of having individual servers doing individual things. The future of power consumption on devices. The future of power consumption on devices. Focusing on improving the performance of computers and their batteries, technology has been able to decrease power consumption and increase battery life on all mobile devices. But this is only the beginning for computing and battery power. According to Koomey, the theoretical limits are still so far away. Physicist Richard Feynman researched the electrical needs of computers and projected that the effectiveness of them can still be enhanced by a factor of 100 billion before it hits its maximum. That was in 1985. Since then, enhancements have been about 400,000-fold. There's so far to go, says Koomey. It's only limited by our cleverness, not the physics.